Hello again, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Broadcast Podcast. My name is Thomas, and sitting with me, as always, he's my bro, and he's your bro too. Give it up for Alan.
Hello, everyone. It is me, it is I, it is he, Alan from the Broadcast. Tom, how are you?
Bro, I'm going good, and we're trying something a little bit different, guys. We're actually using the Riverside.fm app, and we've never used it. I saw an ad for it on YouTube the other day, and I thought, you know what? We want to get into more video. Let's jump online, have a bit of research, and so far, it's looking pretty good.
So far, so good. We are looking good. I hope everyone's enjoying sort of the visuals lately of the broadcast. Yes, for many, many years, this show was mainly just an audible. So you had to pretty much use your imagination of what you thought we looked like. Now you can see our faces. Now you can see our mugs, and it's right there, and it's right there. Right. What do you think, Tom?
I was going to say, and you can be extremely disappointed.
Pretty much. Well, I thought about insulting one another, but I thought it's early in the show, I'm feeling pretty good. It's normally towards the last hour of the show where I'm insulting you and just being a downright dickhole towards you.
Well, I will say, we've actually had a number of podcasts actually reach out and say, guys, it's so awesome to see you actually doing YouTube content. And I'm talking about the Shining Wizards, I'm talking about the Tim King Show, I'm talking about Universal Wrestling Podcast, the World Elite Podcast, all saying it's awesome that you actually are finally doing, audio content and video, because we've listened to you for many years, but now we actually get to see you, and it's great because it gives me a chance to find another hobby. Because I love editing, actually audio, and now I'm actually learning how to do editing with video, which is a whole new thing in regards to that. But how have you been, Al? Haven't seen you in some time.
I have been travelling well. I've been working non-stop. Other than that, the family is doing well. Work has been busy for myself as going too. Gaming quite a bit, as I do pretty much almost every day. I think it's become, people always say, you see stuff on the news, it's like, gaming is a new addiction. And you're like, yeah, it is. Yeah, I can't help myself. Been playing the sort of the newest season of Fort, and we'll probably discuss that more as we go through the show. Also, just getting back into a little bit of Call of Duty, doing Modern Warfare 2. They've actually just recently, this weekend, released a couple of sort of freebie troll maps you can go on. It's very much like a Warzone type of style, but it's you and I think it's like 32 other players on one side, and then 32 players you're playing with, and then one giant map, and just absolute chaos, just causing chaos as much as you can. And it just shows that how much people just love to snipe. And as a person who has in both games, Fort and in Call of Duty, has a little what do I call myself? Yeah, pretty much. I've titled one of my sniper sort of style titles in the actual code game is Sniping Bitch. And that's why I always sort of say when I'm on Call of Duty, I'm hiding in a bush with a sniper. I am a little snipey bitch. So it's your boy.
I have noticed you've actually been playing a lot of COD. I noticed it on the PlayStation Online. I'm like, God, he really loves his Modern Warfare 2, and that's probably something I can't get into. I'm not into the rush, getting in next minute, just bullets flying everywhere, grenades going off. And I know Fortnite can be like that if you just follow everyone and land in, say, Mega City and just everyone's all guns are blazing. I'm a Ghost Recon guy, which we've touched on. I just will sit back, throw my drone in the sky and just navigate and go, okay, that guy, yep, there's the machine, yep, there's the main signal, or I'll take that out first. So very strategic. But I do know Fortnite, the new season has dropped. Do you want to have a bit of a chat about that? Do you want to kick us off?
No problem. Well, it looks like we've picked up, we've gone into a futuristic type of samurai shinobi style on the new map. It's kind of fun to actually do this type. It does remind me of one of the most older seasons back from maybe 2019 where there was a future season. And I didn't really get much into that at that time. It was, I think it was another time. I think I fell in love with Warzone. So Call of Duty Warzone, I was playing a lot more of that than I was playing Fort during that season. No more hammers. We all have now the tech sword. Everyone's running around with that son of a gun. So if you're not getting, being mashed with a giant hammer anymore, now welcome the tech sword. I'm a big fan of that thing myself. I see it as very much as a toxic weapon to use, especially if you're going up against someone who is like, you can see the frantic in their movement when you come towards somebody with the sword. It is so much fun. What about you, Tom?
Well, I'm actually probably the other way. I liked having the hammer. I liked being able to just smash somebody, and I've only started playing it probably the last week, and only till today got my first victory. So there was so many times I was like top 3, top 2, and even the other day I got eliminated at 98. I'm like, oh, like I've landed, and then some dude just SMG'd me, and I'm like, yep. And then not only that, he then emoted. Like, I'm already dead, dude. You don't need to emote over. I know I'm dead. Yeah. Just get out of the game.
What was the emote, mind me asking?
I don't know what it was. It was just one of the dances. I don't know half the dances. So I just didn't even look. I just got out. I think it was that one. Or it was the double one, the 2 one. So,
yeah. Yes.
If you like that visual there, I might put that as a short. Who knows?
Just the little, you in the corner up here doing the little Fortnite dance right there.
But no, I'm enjoying it. My son's enjoying it. He likes the samurai sword. He's enjoying the kind of new gameplay. I think he kind of liked the idea of having the Kemikama and being up high and doing a big shot, where this season makes you fight one-on-one close guard combat, which he's still not kind of used to switching out between, an assault rifle to a machine gun. And the biggest thing he doesn't do, he doesn't jump while shooting. He just stands stationary and shoots. And I'm like, Jack, you're a stationary target, mate. Keep moving. They can't hit you if you're standing still, if you're jumping. Which one's jump? And then it gets kicked out. And I'm like, okay, I'll just walk away because I'm going to get yelled at, and I don't want to get yelled at today by you.
I can understand that sometimes, because I am one of those players that I will forget. It's like, you need to jump in this game because, again, if I play Warzone or any of the CODs, if you, in that sort of lore, if you were to jump, you're known as a wuss. You're a pussy. You're an absolute piece of shit. You do not jump in COD. You take the bullets like the man, and then you respawn and you get back into it yet again. But with COD, it's, again, they say that, with Fortnite, it is a kid's game. With Ford, it's an adult's game. It's a man's game. It's a game that puts hairs on your chest and your knuckles in your lower testicle region. You're like, okay, all right, no, thank you, sir.
So what was that? So you can't jump in COD, is what people say.
You can jump in COD as much as you want, but if you do jump in the game while you're in a sort of one-to-one battle fight, guns blazing at each other, you're considered a word I'm not going to say on this show. There's a couple of interesting words you can use to describe someone who does that type of stuff. Me personally, I hate jumping while I'm doing it, pretty much any game, but I got to remember when I'm playing Fort that I need to do that.
Yeah, and you can also tell people who are playing on PC, because they move so quick compared to, say, a controller. And it's like, he's a PC gamer. Damn you. Okay. Forget it.
He's
but,
using...
I enjoy it. It's good to know that you're enjoying it as well. And I think in other games, what I was getting into recently, I'm waiting for Star Wars to come out. The new, would you say, Fallen Order video game in that series? That looks interesting. I'm keen to check out that one. I've got a couple of things in my wish list that are actually on sale that I'm thinking about, and I also saw the RoboCop game trailer got dropped last week for a first-person RoboCop game. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, there is a YouTube clip out there, guys. Be careful when looking up RoboCop. I think it's that particular scene in the very first one where he shoots the gun through the woman's dress and shoots the guy in the dick. Now, from what I remember, you won't find this on YouTube. I think you might find on Daily Motion or Reddit or some website will take you, where it's pretty much the exact same scene, but a whole lot of criminals, I would say, of different statures, just being shot in the penis. But for some reason, their penises are out, and RoboCop is like full blown boom, boom, just blowing off the meat of all these men. Where was it? If I find it, I will send it to you. Make sure to delete your history after looking at it, and maybe just putting on the socials like, this was what Alan was talking about on the broadcast. Viewer discretion is, can be advised. But yeah, it's just when I hear of RoboCop, I instantly go back to that scene where someone has put the movie up, but they've also superimposed that a particular scene of RoboCop just shooting a lot of man meat with his gun.
And they're pretty brutal movies. Like, when you actually think back, like the mid-'80s, that first one's pretty fucked up. Like, I watched it probably 2 months ago. Like, the dude that falls into the toxic waste and then becomes like some mutant and then literally gets hit by a car and blows up. And then there's the scene at the last bit where you see RoboCop walking on the water and then all the mechanical stuff falls on the dude. And I'm like, okay, yep, these are pretty extreme movies with people just getting blown up. Even when his hand gets blown up at the start, when he gets killed.
I was about to say, so when he gets killed, he gets his arm blown off and he gets his legs, blown, his kneecaps blown as well too. It just instantly just like, God damn. And again, it just shows, before comic book movies, this was was it based on a comic back in the day?
I believe so,
yeah. It was a comic what they did first, and then next minute they were like, let's make a movie. And so it was like, before the Spider-Mans, before the X-Men, before Superman, and I wasn't going to say Batman because there probably was, Michael Keaton's Batman was out at that time, maybe much later on, or maybe even earlier. But yeah, it's just like, this is a comic book movie, but this is for adults. This is not for kids.
Oh, it's definitely crazy. Like, one of the things I'm hoping, if they're going to do the RoboCop game, maybe they can do a crossover with Terminator. Because that's another game I want to buy that's on my wish list. That's a first-person shooter. And it would be cool to kind of get a revision crossover, because they did it, I think, in the 90s on Super Nintendo. RoboCop versus Terminator, which was just a side-scroller game where you play as RoboCop and you just take out T-800. So that'll be cool. Any movies you've seen recently?
Oddly enough, I actually went and chilled out with the missus the other night, and we watched the Weird Al Yankovic story. Now, Daniel Radcliffe from Harry Potter fame portrays Weird Al Yankovic. Are you going to watch this movie?
I probably won't watch it. I know of him, but I'm not as big as a fan as you are.
All right. Well, exactly. As you probably know, that I am a big fan of Weird Al Yankovic. I've loved his music since a very young age. And I'll just say this movie, I might just give it an explanation why it's just weird. It pretty much starts off where you find he's got his love for the accordion. And that's how his style of polka type of music he's done during the 80s, the 90s, and he's still doing it today. So basically, it's him getting his mother buying him the accordion, and he's actually learning. He's doing it secretly, so his father doesn't find out. It's very much got like an 80s vibe, like I think it's Footloose. No son of mine's going to be learning how to dance. You get the hell out of this house. It's just the father's just angry because he doesn't understand why his son wants to be talented. So basically, he gets older in time. The people that he's living with, his roommates, also are part of his band. And just, you watch the movie progressively, it just goes all together. Everything goes really well. He goes to a record store and he threatens the person that he's, not the record store, the record producer, and he threatens them, and they're like, yep, sure, you can have a job. No problem, Mr. Yankovic. And it shows him drinking, it shows him smoking, it shows him getting out on stage, being really violent. And I know Weird Al Yankovic's story, and he's not a drinker, he's not a smoker, he's a vegan. There's all these different scenes where he's just being like an absolute pig. And then Madonna actually makes an appearance. Not Madonna of the woman we knew from the 80s. It's a woman portraying her, and she is basically like a Courtney Cox character. Basically, is just taking him over and going, "Oh no, you should do this, and forget about your band. It should be about us." And pretty much, she becomes like the main villain of the movie, and then she gets kidnapped by I can't remember. I should have done a little bit of research on it, but it's a Mexican drug lord during that time. I think is it Nacho? It's one of those dudes, and she gets kidnapped purely because he wanted Weird Yankovic to come to his birthday party. So pretty much Al travels over to Europe after being in a car accident and nearly dying because of his drug overdose and his drinking problem on stage. Then he goes to Cuba, chops down a whole bunch of trees, and then for some reason he loses his shirt where he's absolutely ripped like no tomorrow. And then he's got 2 guns and he just starts blasting away all these bad guys. Boom, 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 boom. Kills all of Nacho's men, and then basically just, I'm here for the woman. And then basically kills the main villain. The Cuban drug lord. And then we find out the whole time that Madonna became the drug lord right there. Later on, Al says, I can't do this. He moves on with his life, and then he moves on with his becoming who he is. He gets called out for using the music of Michael Jackson because we talk about Beat It and I'm Fat. And basically, they've switched it around for this movie, but making you think that Michael Jackson actually copied Al Yankovic the whole time, not the other way around. So it just does not make sense. It started off so funny. It was like, oh man, this is going to be a fantastic biopic. It's good for a laugh. And then next minute we're going to Cuba and shooting people. And then he dies at the end. He gets up on stage. He holds up his, I think he wins a Grammy. And this is 1989. This is set in. So he's holding up the Grammy. And then a gentleman up the front with a very large gun starts boom, 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 unloading into him and kills him because he was sent by Madonna, who is now a Cuban drug lord. That's the movie I watched.
And I was going to say, it sounds like it was a biopic. It was promoted as a biopic, and about midway through they thought, you know what, let's make an action adventure, and let's make it balls to the wall crazy. Let's involve drug lords, Grammy Award winnings, and death. While you were speaking, I was looking at who the director was, and his name is Eric Appel, who I'm not aware of, but he's actually known for doing The Office, New Girl, Brooklyn 999, and also Die Hard, which was the Kevin Hart one, I think, that came out on Netflix, I think, a few weeks ago. But also, too, that was actually his directorial debut, was the Weird Al's actual movie.
It also joined up with Funny and Die. And Funny or Die. And if you know their type of style of comedy, it's basically people who are no longer working for the SNL in America come over to this place and then start doing little comical things and little joke things like that. Because there are 2 videos that I fondly remember from Funny or Die, and it's got Will Ferrell, and he's talking to his landlord, and you find out the landlord the whole time is a 3-year-old girl who's just like beats the shit out of him because he's low on his rent. He hasn't paid his rent, so this is dear little sweet little girl at the end. She's like, "You pay rent, you pay now," and it's so funny how Will's just playing off this character of this much taller man because he's a giant, and there's this little 3-year-old girl telling him what to do. It's very funny.
See, I don't watch any of that type of stuff. I haven't seen a lot of the improvs, that kind of Saturday Night Live. I've never really been into that, growing up.
Because you don't like to laugh.
Yes, I do. I laugh at people falling over on the street. That's my main thing. So
yeah, you like to watch elderly people get their fingers jammed indoors.
No, not jammed indoors. Mainly falling over. And if they don't, I'm going to have to give them just a little push. But no, don't. Yeah, you're right. And they help them up. You fell over. I don't know who did it.
You dumb bitch.
Whoa.
I got a little banana. Whoops.
What? I just got a pocket full of bananas, just randomly throwing them down like Mario Kart, do I?
I was going to say that. It's, sure.
Well, here's a segue. Are you excited for Mario coming out? Which is what, next... Oh, no, about 2 weeks, I think, for us in Australia. So,
bring it on. It's one movie I'm looking forward to taking my son to go and see. It's going to be good for a laugh. I'm vastly looking forward to it because it actually does look like a bit of fun. It's not taking itself too serious. It's taking concepts from all the games. So if you're a bit of a Mario nerd and you know your lore, you're going to be seeing stuff, and it's going to be one of those movies that it's made by Mario, fond of Mario and the love of Mario. There'll be things in the background you'll see that's like, oh, that's from that game, and that link's from there, and so yeah, it looks like fun.
Oh, I've seen tons of YouTube videos like breaking down each of the trailers, what you saw in the background from like Galaxy and things like that. But I'm keen for it. It's actually got bumped up 2 days early, so I think it comes out in Australia. Yes. Most of us here in this country get our films on a Thursday when they come out. I think it's a Wednesday here in Australia, so which is good because the end of our working school term finishes up on Thursday for me. So that'll be something my kids are definitely keen to check out. But once again, everybody, thank you for actually hitting play on the Broadcast Podcast. This actually marks episode 155. We've delivered close to nearly 100 wrestling companions, which is where Alan and I go back and do watch-alongs of wrestling shows, wrestling matches, pay-per-views from ECW, WCW, TNA, NXT, World Wrestling Federation, and now also the WWE. Some AEW content was also dropped recently. Last weekend we dropped the Brody Lee versus Cody match, and a week before that we did another AEW, which was Thunder Rosa takes on Britt Baker. Alan has also said to me off the mic he wants to turn the show into all AEW. So we're going to turn our, as you've seen with our logo, we're going to be called the TBK AEW pod. Correct, Al? Is that what we discussed?
I don't remember discussing that at all, but look, if you want to go down that path and find someone else to record with, then, God bless and good luck, because I'll quit the show.
I think maybe it was me writing the text to myself with you as the contact. Like I made a name as you and then text myself. So maybe that's what the issue was there. So
you're full of shit.
Seems like it.
Yes. So pretty much.
So you're not for that idea, or we're not?
Look, I'm for doing a few AEWs. I'll do. Heck, I'll even do some ROHs if need be. But if you want to make this purely an AEW show, then I'll use the door right now.
Well, I'm not doing that because I don't want to do it by myself. I've done a podcast by myself and it's not good.
It is difficult sometimes. When you're watching a show and you're trying, hey, what do you think? And you're like, who the fuck am I talking to?
No, it's awkward when you're like, oh, big right hand there. Oh, choke slam. Oh, wow. Like when you're by yourself doing a companion and there's no one to bounce off, it's definitely awkward. Mm-hmm. So,
yes, definitely.
Well, with that being said about companion, this actually is our TBK WrestleMania special. It's the once-a-year episode where Alan and I, both choose a match each from a WrestleMania, and we do a watch-along to that. We're going to be covering 2 matches from some great eras. I would say, again, I've touched on it in the past, my favourite 5 years in pro wrestling is 1998 to 2003. And the 2 matches that we will be covering are from those eras. The first one, we're travelling into the year 2000, and the second one, we're travelling to the year 2003. But before we actually hit play or announce what those actual matches are, we want to give a shout out to not one, but 2 great wrestling podcasts. Check these guys out.
The Shining Wizards is the greatest wrestling podcast of all time. Don't believe me? Tune in and check us out. We laugh, we cry, we interview some of the greatest people in professional wrestling, and we have some of the greatest segments of all time, including everyone's favorite wrestling game show, Can You Beat That? We're live 6:50 p.m. East on Monday nights on all social media platforms, And we're with you wherever you go on every single streaming and podcasting platform as well. Check us out. Go over to shiningwizards.com and join us for some wrestling talk and talk about wrestling.
What's up, everybody? I am the patron saint of podcasting, the Warden Matt Ritter, the host of the #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub. Yes, you heard that right. And I'm here to tell you about the #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub, the Smack and Raw podcast. Me and my co-host, Vince Delgado, and Miss Katie Kinsey Bebe of the She Leads Showcase do a weekly recap where we cover Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Dynamite, and Rampage. We are on Pornhub, YouTube, and every audio platform you could think of, and we are spitting what we don't like and swallowing what we do every week. We've also got guests from some of your favorite podcasts. So if you want to have fun, take your pants off, put in your headphones, pull up to your favorite listening or viewing device, relax, and just have a good time. Catch up on the week in wrestling in our own unique way. Come check us out. You guys can find me at Matt Ritter, that is at MATTRIDDER, on Twitter only. There you will get Linktree/Smack and Raw. That'll get you all of the audio platforms as well as Pornhub. You guys can also check out Linktree/Creation World, and that will get you the YouTube, the merchandise, and the Pornhub, as well as other great podcasts from Creation World, which is the banner under which the Smack and Raw podcast exists. If you want to get everything in one shot, go to creationworld.com. There you'll find Super Flash Hero of Tomorrow if you're a fan of DC CW superhero stuff. If you want to check out the Smack and Raw podcast, if you want to check out our other show, Return to Wrestling, where me and my co-host Travis go back in time and he forces me to sit down and watch old WCW Nitros and pay-per-views, and I have to suffer through Hulk Hogan repeatedly. If that sounds like something that you think is fun, come check that out as well. We also have a YouTube-only show hosted by Vince called Spitter Swallow that you can find on our YouTube. We've got so much content for you. Dungeons After Dark as well. That episode 2 is coming. It is our most viewed episode on Pornhub. So if any of this sounds appealing to you, I can't wait to have you guys come follow us, listen to us, and interact with all of you. Like I said, take your pants off, pull up, get comfortable, and let's have a good time.
All right, guys, we are back, and I just actually forgot one thing I didn't say at the start. I actually want to give a shout-out to the Shining Wizards Wrestling Network, who've given us the opportunity to not only link up with them, but also share lots of great ideas. There's a wealth of knowledge from so many podcasts that I've actually had a few emails with, even today, talking about, was it Riverside and different streaming services and how to edit. So what I love, it's a community that's supporting everybody. It isn't competition. It's about building each other up, which is a great thing. So again, shout out to the boys from the Shining Wizards Wrestling podcast. And I believe it's now time for our first match, Al. Would you like me to announce it?
Yes, as you do that, I'm going to do the housekeeping right here, guys. I know you like to do your bit of promotions towards the end, but your boy right here is feeling a bit peckish, and he needs to get his rogue energy on right now. Right here, ladies and gentlemen, I am holding in my hot little hands right here, guys, a Rogue Energy Grape Popsicle in my hand. Yes, I am on this stuff right now. This is some of the stuff that I do take, not every day, but maybe second day, maybe every third day, to help me with my gaming. So basically, it's 175 mg of caffeine. It's also 5 calories. And guess how much sugar is in this, Tom?
I have no idea with measurements, because I've got a can of energy drink, and there's probably more in this can than probably that whole thing that you've got.
0. You are looking at the zero sugar right here. It is going to it's going to give me the energy, it's going to give me the focus, and it's going to give me endurance. So let's open this bad boy up. We're actually doing this live on the show here, guys. And I'm going to take the lid off and get the little scoopy whoopie. How many do you think I should go, Tom? 1 or 2 scoops?
What cup are you going into? Show me your cup.
This big son of a gun.
I would do 2.
It's with water.
I would say 2 cups or 2 scoops.
All right. 2 scoops. Here we go. We got 1.
I was going to say 2 scoops. I ain't driving. It's a shout out to the Home Alone guys. So yeah.
Well done.
Yes, my nerd was showing just a little bit.
Yeah. Let's put a little bit of extra in there, guys. There we go. I'm going to put the lid back on, and I'm going to get my other lid, which is over here, on my little fancy dancy drink. We're going to do it away from the mic, because these new mics we've been using, Tom, What do you think of them?
Oh, I'm happy with it. I think, it's all a test, guys. We evolve as a podcast goes. This is season 7, and we evolve. So I'm happy for trying something new. And I think with you doing the shaker, I'll just name drop where people can check out Rogue Energy. If you go to their Twitter, it's at The Rogue Energy, which is TheRogueEnergy. We've been a member of them for quite a long time as an affiliate. And if you use the promotional code, I believe it's 2702, you can get yourself some percentages off a purchase. And that includes their shaker cups, also the boxes Alan had there, or their containers. So check him out at rogueenergy.com, or you can just check him out on Twitter at The Rogue Energy on Twitter.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate. All right.
Oh.
Let's get this ball moving, eh?
Let's do it.
The match that we are watching, guys, is a personal favourite of mine, and I'm talking about WrestleMania 2000, the Triangle Ladder Match, the very first ever tag team Triangle Ladder Match at WrestleMania, as the Dudley Boys defend the WWF Tag Team Championship against Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys. Comment, Cell.
Classic. This is an instant classic. This is when I have a fond memory of wrestling right here, especially in the year 2000. I was watching a lot of wrestling at this time, and I am vastly looking forward to watching this match right now. I have not watched it in a long time, but we are seeing people from 23 years ago, and I believe there's a handful of them still going today. We know that Christian is still going. Well, maybe. I think he got buried the other week. We know that Edge is still going, and he's probably taking on a demon in a giant cage match very soon. Devon and Bubba. Devon's not doing much. Bubba's still talking smack online and also on his TV, on his program. And we've also got Matt and Jeff Hardy. Wherever Jeff is, I hope he's well. I don't know what's going on with him. And Matt Hardy, I don't know what's... hopefully he's still doing the good stuff that he's doing in AEW.
Yeah, it's crazy to think, as you said, 23 years ago. It actually didn't dawn on me then. I was like, oh yeah, it was 23 years ago. And I would have been 14 years old. You would have been nearly 16. So we were right in the heart of high school. And I actually think we watched this maybe even the day after, because I was actually having a chat with Nick from the Universal Wrestling podcast yesterday, and we're having a laugh that we in Australia never get to experience evening pay-per-views. They're always happen at lunchtime for us, and we would have been at school when pay-per-views would have happened if they're on a Sunday, because it would have been 12 p.m. Monday for us. So we would usually DVR or record those shows and then watch them when we would get home. So I think we didn't watch this until late that Monday night, but it's an absolute classic. The main event I didn't really enjoy, which was, Hunter, Big Show, Mick Foley and Rock had that kind of turn ending there with Vince joining, and we had the McMahon-Helmsley regime become stronger, but this definitely is a great matchup. And I think there was another match I think that you may have also enjoyed from this card. Do you recall what it is?
No. What are you referring to? You're trying to get me into trouble again, are you?
No. Just two things. That anything with Bull Buchanan and the Boss Man you love, and anything to do with head cheese. So, yeah.
Oh, was that with Chester McCheesington?
Oh, see, you remember. See? Told you.
Have we done this? I feel like we've done this for WrestleMania. Have we done this in the archives?
Nope, we've never watched it.
Why the fuck do I feel like we've done this show before?
You've probably done it with somebody else.
No. Okay,
no, we've never covered anything from this one. We've talked about it a lot. We've watched it growing up, but we've probably, it's something we have talked about wanting to do, but it's like a nearly 4-hour show. So we kind of thought, keep them a bit shorter. So you can actually watch the Triangle Ladder Match. I think we're watching this on Daily Motion. It seems to be the place where we can actually watch a lot of these matches. You can also watch them on what could be the WWE Network or Binge if you're in Australia. So, Alan, could you give us our countdown for this matchup?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, get ready to press play with us in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yep, and I think this is actually Anaheim, California.
Yes.
So actually, originally, for my choice for this match, I actually wasn't going to choose this. Two other things stuck out for me. I was originally going to choose WrestleMania 21, because that had the inaugural Money in the Bank ladder match, the one where Edge won. Or I was thinking Mania 23, which was the one when Kennedy won. But there was just so many spots in both of them. And then I was thinking of spots, and I'm like, no, I have to do this one. Like, how many spots are in just this match alone with tables and chairs and ladders? So this is it. I thought, yep, choosing WrestleMania 2000. I just saw you turn your face up there. Was that to do with the ENC's hats that they were wearing to the ring, or what was that about?
Edge should bring that the hat back. Oh, Jeff going under the when he's got his match against the Demon in the cage, he can wear that bad boy.
What, chuck on the big hat and put those big goggles he used to wear too?
Jeff Hardy, not once, not twice, but 3 times went under 3 ladders. I'm not superstitious, but JR's going, Jerry Law's like, what an idiot! You know, you're just like, yeah. And here comes the Dudley
Bubba,
boys.
though. Look at Bubba, just so focused. And he used to talk with that real southern accent, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. That changed very quickly when he... when they were in the WWE, after they left ECW and then came over to the WWE, you know, because he had the stuttering problem, and then that stopped because I think he, like a chair shot from the Acolytes, like knocked him looping and actually fixed it for him.
Yeah, because I think he was still doing it at this time period. Because I think at the Rumble of that year when they took on the Hardys in that table match, he cut a promo at the start and he was stuttering as well. So
yep. Here we go.
One of the things I heard you didn't mention too, that Bubba Ray's actually going for the NWA Championship at the moment in 2023. Comments on that one?
Well, hey, if Ric Flair can claim to have a last match and nearly die, not once, not twice, but 3, maybe 3 to 4 times in one match, then I can say that Bubba Ray Dudley is in a hell of a lot more better shape than Ric Flair. Then definitely, if he can do it, by all means, all the best, Bubba, and I hope you win it.
I've always liked Bubba as a heel. I've always liked him as a speaker as well. He's very, very smart. But I don't like Tyrus being the champion. I just think that's a bit weird. Like, you know, Brutus Clay versus Bubba Ray for the NWA title isn't something I would have seen in the next couple of years, but it is what it is, so...
It is what it is.
Look at Jeff's shirt's been torn up here. Look out. Oh, shit.
Yeah, oh my God, that was fantastic. Yeah, that was Bubba Ray actually like ripping the actual mesh of the shirt and then, nice bubble bomb there. Who's the man?
Jeff always sold it well, didn't he, those bubble bombs? Always sold it.
Well, it looked painful. Like he sold it like it was like he was like being dropped onto his lower coccyx of his spine. And it looked like generally it friggin' hurt.
Jesus, look out.
Oh.
Yeah, talking about what? Christian, his match with Jungle Boy. Did you watch it?
I caught the ending. I actually didn't watch the actual visual I'm talking about. What I saw was from Matthew's Botchamania. I actually saw that bit because they put the Mario music of him, Jungle Boy, slamming the actual coffin where Christian was, and then the sound of the pipe of him going down. So,
yeah, I haven't watched the latest Botchamania. I'll probably check it out, actually.
It is a hoot. It is very funny. I enjoy Matthew's work. It's good stuff. And to get another shout out by him on his not most recent, it was about maybe a few days ago, on his Twitch stream, he gave me a shout out, which was kind of cool.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Yeah, it was like, Roscoe Bosco, how you doing, mate? I say good, and I just wrote back in the chat, thank you, sir, thank you, I'm good, and he goes, good to hear.
Jesus, but Devon didn't want that body slam.
No, he did not. Getting choked.
He just did not
Telling
want that
Matt-
at all.
dropping the elbow down like Macho Man Randy Savage.
Look at the convulsing. There's
Yeah,
just
the
a
sell,
really
the
bad
oversell.
spot coming very shortly for I think it's coming up here for
Fantastic.
Bubba here. There's a when they do the ladder spot, here it is. I think Jeff puts it down and then puts Bubba on it. And it's a 450 and Bubba moves. And I just remember, watch Jeff's legs in this spot. His legs just fold. Here he goes. He jumps up the top. And watch his legs just all get all tangled up here.
Snap. Just snap. So good.
That's a
'Cause this
450
is
on an
something we-
exposed ladder.
This is something we have never seen. You know,
No.
yes, we've seen the ladder matches. Yes, we saw, Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon. You know, that's fantastic match. Remember, what's it, the McMahons versus Austin for the run of the company. Oh my God, what a senton bomb! That hurts
was like
you
almost
more than you hurt
that
your
was-
opponent.
Was that all neck for Bubba then? Yeah.
All in the back face right there.
The back face.
Yep, right in the back face.
Look at this. Edge on top, Matt underneath the ladder, and Edge just falls down. Look at that.
Oh, Matt.
Because the one that really innovated it was the tag team one, when it was the Terry Invitational Tournament, No Mercy 99.
Yes.
Yeah, E and C against the Hardys. You know, each of them brought in a prospective weapon, being, tables, ladders, and chairs, that really didn't become a big thing until SummerSlam that year, where the original TLC match happened when Mick Foley, who was the commissioner, announced that matchup at SummerSlam in August, which I'm actually thinking of being one of my SummerSlam picks for this year. So we'll see how we go.
Fantastic choice. Fantastic choice.
Another thing too that I shared with you recently, wasn't it? Bubba's title win in TNA when he won the World Championship.
Yes, that was cool. That was very cool.
Because we've touched on it before, but we never actually watched it. It was a great matchup with Bubba and Jeff Hardy locked down. I think it was 2013 with the whole aces and eights, and great concept.
Yes. I have a question for you right there. Did your video actually just freeze a little bit every time they went for a headshot
Yeah.
on the ladder? Yes, fantastic. We are definitely watching a copy from the network here. This is when they went back and edited the most of the some of the headshots. They were clearly
Not showing the blunt trauma from a chair shot. Yep, that was a flapjack.
If you're going to take this, if you like it or not, double drop kick, very cool.
Yeah, one of my favourites that we've
innovators
also
right there.
covered on this show, guys, was the Raw Roulette. That Raw Roulette TLC is my favourite match of all time.
Yes.
Kane single-handedly, retains the tag titles against Jericho and Christian, Van Dam and Hardy, and I think it's Spike and Bubba, I think. It's just an absolute
all
war.
the gentlemen
Love it.
here,
Yeah.
the gentlemen that we see in this match here, were in that match that night.
Oh, look at
what a
that.
spear.
Beautiful.
And we will see that forever in video clips, talking about just purely talking about ladder matches and the tag team division and Edge's career, Matt and Jeff's career. Even that spot right there, fantastic.
Well, I remember 3 times of that happening. This match was the first time I remember. There might have been one in the No Mercy one, but I remember Mania 17 when he's hanging, that we covered, when he actually literally dove across the ring. But there was also one on a Raw show where he did it even higher almost for the tag belts. Yeah. Good God. Okay. Like a razor's edge
Hitting
by
the
Matt.
razor's edge. Yep,
Jesus.
razor's edge from Wile E. Coyote Cam.
God, he just missed that ladder, didn't he? Edge.
That was kind of cool to watch, actually, see Matt Hardy hit a, definitely a shout out to an homage to Razor Ramon right there. Because I would imagine these two kids would have been watching that, like jumping up and down back in the day, watching that type of match and going, one day I'm going to do that type of stuff. Oh, God.
And just thinking, too, we actually covered that match between Shawn and Razor from Mania 10. We did it for our Scott Hall tribute last year.
Yeah, we did. It was a good one.
Oh, crap, look at this.
Watch this. Here come. Punch in the butt. Right in the cheek.
Punch in the bum.
Yep, right in the bum and cheek right there, guys.
Oh, shit, here he goes. Look at this. Christian has no idea. Bubba does the full Nelson hook, I think, or is it a cutter? I think it's a cutter. Here we go.
Bubba
look
cutter.
at this. Oh, from almost the top.
I hear voices in my head. Wham.
Jesus. And look at the
They
cell,
talk
too.
to me. They
God's
talk to me.
sake. That's one guy I'll say I'm missing. I'm missing Randy Orton, actually.
Yes, he's just he's doing the John Cena type of thing now. He's sitting at home and getting paid and, looking after his family, being a dad, being a family man. So,
Well, I think he suffered a big
cutter.
injury or something as well. And it's preventing him from coming back.
It's probably that nagging shoulder injury that he's never really sort of properly healed. It's like his father back in the day, the wrist, oh wow, the splash and the leg
That was
drop
crazy.
onto
Look at
Bubba.
that.
Yeah, so basically, he's
Oh,
got that
shit.
nagging
Did
injury.
you see that?
Yes, I did. That
He
was
just
cool.
flew through the middle rope. Sorry for interrupting. You were saying about Bob Orton, I think.
Yeah, Bob Orton's arm never really healed properly, so, well, I think that might have been the gimmick that he was claiming, I've got a broken arm. You're like, no,
That was like with D'Lo, like D'Lo always having the vest as well. I need it. I need my chest protection because of what, Dan 7.
Yeah, he ripped my pecs off. He tore the bone.
Oh, look at this.
He effed me up bad. Double suplex. Bang!
Oh, center of the ring.
Convulsing.
See, that makes me think of the spot that I was thinking. There was originally another choice I had was the Money in the Bank from Mania where Ric Flair got suplexed by Matt Hardy. That's a crazy spot. But yeah,
'cause he
Ric
had to
Flair.
go, didn't
Why
he?
is Ric Flair in a Money in the Bank matchup?
Fit Finlay are the same too. Well, I mean, again, he's a great, fantastic wrestler. But just to see Fit Finlay go, yeah, I'll be in it as well too. There's two old dudes from WCW. Yeah, we'll come and do the ladder match.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, and then Flair goes back. He goes to the back and then comes back. And it's like, yeah, I'm back. And it's like, hey, look out.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, what? A couple of brothers standing up on the ladder. And then, oh my God.
Oh. It's like a double bulldog, and then
Boom.
rush. He just missed that bottom rope there, Matt. Russian leg sweep. There's Jimmy Corderas chatting to him.
Yeah, a lot of grabbing the hand of each wrestler. It's, again, the squeeze back. That's always a big thing.
Bubba just did a whole 360 walk then. He walked right from that far corner all the way around to come back in.
Yeah, he was in video game mode right there. Wham! Faced it.
Well, I watched a doco a couple of months ago, or it might have been even on Busted Open, where he talked about the Mania 17 match and how much work went into that, like the spot calling, trying to make it different than every other match. Like sitting down with Rhino, sitting down with Lita, sitting down with Spike, like everyone that appeared in that match, let's tell a story, but let's do spots that we've never done before. So to think this is the one that really started it, each one, the level got higher and higher with each TLC.
Yep, that's right.
Oh shit, look how high Christian is and Matt. Oh, Christian and Jeff, I think it is on that far one to the left.
Oh God. And they just get thrown onto the concrete. There's nothing
Jeff
there.
flipped too.
This is great. Boom.
Stereo on the
Right
top
in the
row.
goalies. And look at the crowd. They are absolutely loving it. This is pure entertainment. And look at
Just
them all. They
looking
all
like
just
there's no
jump
table
up.
yet.
Yeah.
No table spot.
Yeah. Yeah, we do get tables in this, don't we?
I believe so, yeah. Jeff's selling
Yes.
that wrist there. I reckon he almost broke his hand.
Yes. Oh, yes. He's got that very far away look in his eye here, Bubba. I think, and people are just like, yes.
I love that sign.
The signs.
Dudleyville population 10.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, look
God,
out.
Christian's
Christian,
about
get
to
out of
become
there. Just
Sandwich
squishes
smush.
him in. Ugh.
Oh God. So yeah, that's right. We forget that 3D.
Look at that. I just love the 3D. Like that and FTR's one. What is it called? The the
Future
Soul
Shock.
Shatter or something like that. Yeah. I love them. Just such an awesome. What was the one that tag team used to do in the? I think it was the Beverly Brothers. They used to do one where they would lift the person up and then grab them in the air and pull them down on their head. I'm like, that's murder. That's not a finishing move. That's a potential attempted murder there. Well, look out.
Bubba Ray just looking, staring a hole into JR. Oh,
And
was it Michael Clark Duncan?
We
That was
covered
Michael
that.
Clark Duncan.
Yeah, we covered that Raw when Bubba and JR had their big argument at the commentary table. Say it again. Say it again.
Just calm yourself. Just calm yourself. And then Jerry's like behind, pushing him towards him. Like, tell him, JR. Go on, tell him.
You got Duncan losing it down the front row there.
Yes.
He passed away, hasn't he, that fella?
Yeah, he passed away about maybe 15 odd years ago.
Yeah.
Not long for this world, sadly.
Never actually watched The Green Mile. Heard of it, but never actually watched
haven't?
it. No.
Wow. It's a
I
Stephen
love
King
Tom Hanks.
classic.
He's one of my favourite actors, and I've never actually watched The Green Mile.
When you get a moment, watch it. It's a really, really good movie. Very long, but the storytelling is fantastic. It's in the South, so some parts can be very uncomfortable with, mainly because the main character of that Michael Clark Duncan is playing is a black man with an ID, intellectual disability, living in the South of America during the 30s. So black folks were not treated very respectfully during that time, and
It took years. It took almost 40, 50 years as well. Yeah.
but it just shows that the casting they do for this movie is fantastic, and I'm not going to say any more, but just the ending is just something.
I think I'm aware of what happened, but I want to check it out though. It always appears in like critically acclaimed in those lists on like Apple iTunes or Prime and stuff like that.
That thing is rocking. That table ladder structure. It's a shame you can't do. I don't know. I can't remember if you could do this in any of the other games back in the day.
You could
Any of the
I think it was Just Bring It or even SmackDown 2. I think you could put two ladders and a table together or a table on top of a table.
Wow.
I know you could do, yeah. Because I remember I used to always try and do two tables outside and then powerbomb somebody from inside the ring, outside the ring. You just piff the top of that.
It pushes the Spanish announce team away. Gives Hugo a bit of a shove. He did too. Hang on.
Testify there. Misses the headbutt. Bubba's like, all right, I've still got Matt.
Listen
Look at
to
this.
this.
Watch it blow up. Oh,
Onto the concrete.
good lord. Just blows it up.
And the crowd's loving it. The crowd is eating this up.
And they were heels too. Like the Dudley Boys were the heels in this matchup. E and C definitely the heels, and you could almost say the Dudleys are almost neutral, wouldn't they?
No. E and C weren't heels yet. This
Yeah,
is
they were.
after the night. The night after this. This is when they became the piece of shit. They started doing the 5 second. So basically, the Dudley Boys here are heels.
Yeah.
Matt and Jeff are the faces, and E and C are just at this time. They're starting to sort of veer off, being they were kind of wacky and goofy and just making cracking jokes and stuff like that. But it was just the 5 second pose was soon to come after they won the tag titles.
Did you
Here
see
we go.
that?
Watch Jeff. Yoit.
He just ate that ladder.
Yep, he ate it.
How did it taste? A bit metally.
Because got a bit of metal in my teeth. Look at the size of this.
Okay, yeah, I didn't actually think about it as you just gave that, great explanation there. I didn't think about ENC really being the neutral. I thought they were the guaranteed heel. So,
nope. Later on in the year, at SummerSlam, they were bona fide heels. They were trying every match they had. They were trying to get out of it. What Christian was always sick, or someone in the family died, or and they were always trying to get out of getting in. Putting their tag team titles on the line. So that's one thing I fondly remember when Commissioner Foley was doing the job and doing his thing, and it was always good for a laugh.
Well, I think they end up partnering with Kurt, within the next 2 months as well. They had the whole Kurt Angle partnership and, what was it, Team Eck. Team Eck, yeah. Because I think I think they were at least like 9, almost 10-time tag champs for ENC. And I think it was really this year, it was a lot of winning it, dropping it, winning it, dropping it against all three of these teams.
That's just nasty.
Did your one just do it again, the little pause?
Yeah, the double freeze. Jeff Hardy takes off his shirt. He's going somewhere. Yeah, it's just... Yeah, it definitely shows at this time when they readjusted some of the stuff they were putting on the network. It was like, we can't show headshots. No. We're showing trauma to the brain. And Bubba Ray getting it not once but twice with the ring bell. Look at how high he is up here.
Look at the camera work too.
Yeet.
Ah, good God.
Unfriggin' believable.
And I think I read somewhere after this that he almost broke one or both his feet almost. Like the heels, because they landed flat down on concrete. Because that's not a padded floor of like a wrestling ring. Not. Yeah. Because you think, what's the impact? Like his legs have no movement. His leg is just ground. Like his torso and neck hit Bubba, but his feet hit nothing but surface.
Yeah, I'm just wondering myself, who was the booker at this time? Was it Michael Hayes? Because he loved probably these boys going out and doing their crazy shit. And I think there is a story one time that there was like a balcony, and he wanted Jeff and Matt to jump off it or something. And then Hunter stepped in and said, "All right, Michael, you do it first. You do it." And then Michael looked at Hunter and said, "All right, maybe we won't do that spot. I don't like that. Maybe we'll do something different then." Shit. Twist of fate. Bang.
God, he sold that well too. Yeah, because I think Devon, he works for WWE. He's a producer and also an agent. Okay. I know when Jeff was there before the last stint with AEW, he was actually the handler of Jeff. But I think it just didn't end up working out, and that's when Jeff got released. But he was one of the handlers they put Devon with Jeff to be his main point of call.
Yeah, that's right, because the last time we saw Jeff, I think I remember hearing Jeff, "This is fantastic, this spot here." We'll come back to it. Just watch Matt.
But he even touches the belts too, like he just touches them and then flips. Look at that table.
Explosion. An explosion of wood. And here we go here.
That table blew up into 4 separate pieces on that impact. That's crazy.
ANC, your new tag team champions.
Yeah, it would be the first of many championship reigns.
Yes. And I think last time we saw Jeffrey was in AEW, didn't we? And then he sort of went off and did his own thing.
Yeah, he had a couple of matches there, couple with Matt, couple against Darby, and then it's like it just didn't work out. And they've said, look, you get yourself on the straight and narrow, maybe we bring you back, but it's almost like he was becoming a liability. And I think it's best just to remove yourself, go through some treatment, go through some healing, and then when you're ready,
splat,
make you come. Look at that. That's like 5 pieces of table. Watch it blow up from the crazy cam. Here we go.
Yeet.
Look at
so
that.
So fucking good. That is so fucking good. And it's a massive round of applause to these gentlemen right here that 23 years later, some of them are still going. And some of them understandably had to retire because, again, your body just can't take this type of madness. And good on them. Good on them. Because I see this type of shit. I walk up a ladder at home and I get the wobbly legs and I go, no, I'm good. No, thank you. I choose life.
I thought you were going to say, I just get tempted to do a swanton, but, I just pull out last minute.
That noise. No. Why do I want to do that? Oh, my God.
All right, guys, before we move on to our next match, we want to give a shout-out to not one, but two great wrestling podcasts. Check these guys out.
What's up, everybody? I am the hardest part of the ring, the host of the Apron Bump podcast. And I know what you're thinking. Ugh. Another wrestling podcast? How many times can I listen to fans beat up on WWE and AEW? Tell me who needs a push, who doesn't need a push, who brings Vince's coffee these days? Enough! I'm just as sick of it as you are, and that's why I created the Apron Bump. The Apron Bump is about the journey. It's about nostalgia. It's about discovering new forms of wrestling to really tickle your pickle as a wrestling fan. It's about making wrestling fun again. The podcast brings you reviews of wrestling events all over the world, tying together over 6 different promotions spanning 4 different decades. And everything is chronologically in a timeline to really allow myself and all you listeners to live through these eras while having a good time doing it. Whether it's WWF, WWE, WCW, ECW. We even cover the golden eras of Ring of Honor, Progress, TNA, and more promotions in the future as well. New episodes every Wednesday, or as some may say, Bump Day. Yeah? Go to apronbump.com or go to your favorite podcast platform or YouTube and subscribe today for the most diverse, fan-friendly wrestling podcast in the world. I'm Hard.
Are you tired of being lied to every day by the mainstream media?
Do you want to know what's really going on in the world?
Do you want to make up your own mind about things and not be told what to think or say?
Then listen to Inconclusive Breakdown, a weekly anti-PC look at the world of entertainment and current events brought to you without censorship or filters.
You can find us everywhere you listen to podcasts, BitChute, and on ShiningWizardsNetwork.com.
And also, we're a proud member of the Shining Wizards Network.
Alright guys, we are back, and it's now time for match number 2. Alan, would you like to introduce it?
Guys, we are going back to 2003, and we are now doing Vince McMahon versus Hulk Hogan in a street fight. I fondly remember this match as a WrestleMania classic purely because myself, Thom, and a few other people, and very close friends, and brother Nathan, went to the theaters and we watched WrestleMania here. We watched this WrestleMania and it was fantastic. This was a good for all of us coming together and actually watching wrestling on a big screen. It was a first time experience of actually doing it and then going, my God, this is I would love to watch wrestling like this all the time. So yes, it's Vince McMahon versus Hulk Hogan in a street fight.
No, it's a good one. Again,
no
Yep.
holds barred, I think it is.
No, street fight.
Yep.
It's not street fight like Bossman Al Snow street fight, but it's an actual in-ring street fight. Yeah.
Yes, with all the gaga.
I would have liked a barbed wire exploding matchup, but, that's just me being choosy, so...
Vince McMahon and Terry Bollea in a exploding barbed wire match, right?
At WrestleMania. With stickles and piranhas.
Sickles or stickles?
Sickles,
Sickles.
Like what is it? Big Time Japan.
Yeah, I know what you meant. The sickle. Yeah, sure. No, there's no need for that.
Fine, I'll just take a street fight.
Good.
All right, Al, give us our countdown.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, get ready to press play with us. If you are watching this on binge, we are at the 2-hour 10:35 mark. If you're watching this on the network, we're pretty much at exactly the same place. And if you're watching this on Daily Motion as well too, click on and watch this with us because this is going to be fun. Okay, let's watch this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. in his 20 years. Bring this on.
Look at Vince, mate.
Oh.
Just jacked up.
He's got muscles on top of places we don't even have muscles. This is actually quite a interesting feud, sort of tale of the tape. This is.
Well, it's a good question though. Is like, who made WrestleMania? Was it Hulk Hogan, or was it Vince McMahon? Let's debate it. Who do you reckon?
They both need each other. One was the brains, one was the brawn. And McMahon is saying right there, I created Hulkamania. Yes, you did. But you were the brains behind the operation. You threw him out to the crowd, and every night, he wrestled, Hogan had to pose. Win, lose, or draw, Hogan had to pose. And McMahon would talk him up so much about him, like, here he comes, ladies and gentlemen, Hulk Hogan. And then actually showing this type of footage of him jumping to WCW, and then the trial, it was, I didn't think they were actually going to show this, but it was like, damn, they're actually showing this. This is actually quite an interesting
they're definitely blurring between fantasy and reality, like from a scripted storyline to now, hey, remember when there was steroids and I was accused of this and you trialed against me? Which was also covered by, was it Dark Side of the Ring, I think, last season, actually did the steroid trials as well. Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Which makes me laugh when you see Vince with the neck brace, because the rumour was that his lawyer told him to wear a neck brace through the trial to get some sympathy from the jury. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that. I think it was like a legit accident that he was on a jet ski. Not to the extreme of Brutus Beefcake, where he actually had an actual boat hit him in the face, or a man hit him in the face and legit shattered his face. It was just nothing but goo. But yeah, I think McMahon was actually legit hurt. I think that was like some story thing that went around.
But there was also something about that where he supposedly took the neck brace off and said, oh yeah, I'll give it back to my lawyer. Like, he took it off with ease. Like, those last few days, like, he didn't need it. I find funny something you just said funny then, where you said Brutus the Beefcake got hit. And I'm not laughing at him being hurt. But it's funny that he got hurt in the ocean and he would end up becoming the Shark in WCW.
No, he became the Zodiac.
Well, which was the Shark thing, though. He did the Shark thing, didn't he?
No, he didn't. That was John Tenta.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Know your law, Tom. Know your Dungeon of Doom law.
Well, I wasn't watching 95. I was watching 98.
You could always go back and educate yourself, Tom. I love that shit. I love the Dungeon of Doom stuff. That was Eric Bischoff's sort of take on Mortal Kombat. The lore of Mortal Kombat, not like with Glacier and Ernest the Cat Miller. They were the guys fighting, but the stuff in the back with Hogan going into the Dungeon of Doom and going and touching the water. That's not art, I don't know why that's so damn funny, but when I think of it, but Hogan touching the water, that's not art. It scared him. He was frightened.
Didn't we cover Halloween Havoc 95? And just in that video package, I'm so confused because it's like Hogan walking through the realm, and then there's a tree that they come out of the tree, and then you've got Kevin Sullivan dressed up as an old lady when they shaved his beard off, and I'm like, what? This isn't the NWO Hogan that I remember. Like, I went and watched 95 after the NWO, and I'm like, what was Hogan doing back here with this type of stuff? Yeah.
Hogan was just making movies. Hogan was having fun. This is, we're actually watching this too, guys, but as Hogan's coming down to the ring, they've taken the Jimi Hendrix song, Vince Still Sucks, and they ripped it out. I missed that.
They've taken the Voodoo Child lyrics out, and they've got the generic, Jim Johnson version.
Wow.
Yeah.
You want to know a great thing? See that Hogan shirt? That singlet? I actually had one of those at this time.
Hey, look out.
I remember rocking up to the theaters wearing a Hulk Hogan t-shirt. And I remember that you out of all of us, were sitting at the theaters, and you were adamant that Vince McMahon was going to win.
I still think he will. After all these years.
It's interesting listening to the commentary team at this time here. It's Taz and Michael Cole. And again, because this is purely a SmackDown match that we are watching here. But you think you would, two big titans that these men are, Vince McMahon and Hulk Hogan. You think you get someone on the horn, you get like JR and King, or Mean Gene and Bobby Heenan, or some people like that. But, we had Michael Cole and Taz.
Yeah, because the match just before this was a Raw match, which was JR and King doing the commentary. I think it was Booker and Triple H for the World Heavyweight title. Yeah, and even like Cole sounds like his voice is gone as well.
That's Michael Cole at every WrestleMania. I heard that it's a drinking game. That I think it's by the last three matches. If Michael Cole has not lost his voice, then you have to drink. Also, the night after, the Raw after, if Michael Cole still has a voice, then you have to drink. At least if he's very horsey, because he goes right into it.
Oh, he does. Yeah.
I mentioned at this time that both Taz and Michael Cole are very happy that Vince is in the ring, and is not telling them what to say and do while on the headset. And there we go, just a slap in the face of Hulk Hogan. It's like watching two buff dads fight here now.
It does too, like out the front of the driveway.
Yeah. You told me you were going to return your power saw. I'll return to you another time. And he takes off his hat.
The funniest one, I watched this little meme online. It's like some road rage incident. So a dude's filming on his mobile phone. The fella comes up, pounds on his window and goes, come out of the car because I'm going to beat your dick into the dirt. And the guy filming goes, that sounds a bit gay. And the guy goes, laughs and goes, oh, stuff this, I'm out. And just walks away like, damn it, you've wrecked it on me. Okay, I'm going. See ya. And the whole fight just doesn't even happen. I'm going to beat your dick into the dirt.
Did you see the extremely tall gentleman in the fluoro yellow and green grab a sign of somebody, fold it up, and then walk off screen?
Down the bottom there, isn't it? Or is it in that bottom corner?
He was further up in the middle. He was in the middle. Yeah, I think this is because during this time they had a lot of signs were put up, but there's probably some inappropriate things.
Probably, yeah. And it's facing the hard cam, or was it the other shot?
It was hard cam. It was definitely on a hard cam.
Dude, some of the signs, we should just do an episode about signs and just try and like break down the people's idea about how some of them mean. Like, Go Hogan, that's simple. But some of the other ones that we've even touched on this show, what phasms people's mind to write some of their signs to be on the hard cam? Crazy.
Some of my favourite things are today that we're living in. Oh no, previously I just spoke about Botchamania, but people, the geeks out there now are actually putting up their signs about video games and stuff like that. And how this game is better than this game, or this game has the same comparison to this game. Is fucking funny. And a handful of people looking at it going, what does that mean? Is that meant to be funny? And if you know it, and you have a bit of a giggle. I mean, it's a lot of that on SmackDown, a heap on AEW, but it is always good for a laugh.
And I'm so confused. I'm one of those people that don't know. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, it's some Japanese anime game that I've never heard of, and I'm like, I don't get the reference. Okay, back to the ring.
Look at Vince here. This is in a street fight, in an arm lock.
Yeah, well, he got him with a clothesline, with a couple of kicks to the ribs, and now he's got him with a shoulder lock. Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, talking about Hogan, I was actually meant to show you a picture. I actually found your photo of you and Hogan on my phone. It's actually in our group chat on WhatsApp. I found the photo of you and Hulk Hogan shaking hands. It's little Quentin, like a little, couple of months old, isn't he, in that picture?
Son was 6 months old, and I was in line for an hour, and I got to meet the immortal Hulk Hogan. And then 2 days later, he came out and he said the N-word. And he didn't like black people. And he's apologized about that, but it was just like, bruh, come on. 2 days after I met him, he all that crap came out.
But he has such a following, though. Like, he's one of those guys that does bad stuff, but has such a huge worldwide following. And it really comes back to this match. Is it because of Vince McMahon? Or did Hogan bring it all on himself? Like, who made WrestleMania? Would Hulkamania even be a thing?
Look at him.
Without Hulk Hogan and WrestleMania itself? So
I would imagine there's a lot of people who...
This is very similar. Sorry for interrupting. This is similar to Warrior.
They didn't put the camera. They made sure we do this on the side here.
Yeah, the Warrior Hogan wasn't the best angle for that one that we did. We did that for our last our TBK WrestleMania special. Yeah.
Yep.
That's the one when I didn't know that Warrior was so much shorter than Hogan. In my mind, I thought they were equal height, and then when they go face to face, you're like, "What the? Warrior's actually shorter?" I'm like, "What? When did that
Warrior's
happen?"
just muscle. Warrior was just pure muscle. That was his thing. He wasn't a tall man. No. Look at we got the devil, and we've got the saint fighting each other right here, bashing off each other.
Ooh. I wonder how old Vince was at this time. I'm going to have a look at this. How old was Vince McMahon back in this time?
Probably
20 years ago, isn't it?
Probably going on in his mid-60s, probably here. Probably 60-odd.
All right, let's have a look.
It's weird to see Hogan in a spot like this where he's just being out-wrestled. Well, Hogan and wrestling. And Vince and wrestling.
All right, how old do you think Vince McMahon was at this time?
Going on 60-something.
At that time?
Yeah. No. Well, he's old as hell. He's old as hell now with his mustache.
With his mustache. Do you know Do you know how old he was at this time?
What?
He was 57.
Yeah, he's going on to 60. Don't be a shit with me like
He's
that.
still got 3 years.
Don't give me that shit, man. Have you seen him with the mustache lately?
Yes, I have. I had nightmares.
No, you don't. You jerk off to us for some fucking weird reason.
What I do every day is my own business.
Do not judge Ellen.
All right, how old do you think Hogan was?
60s.
He's 69 now, so he was 49 at this time period.
No, don't hurt yourself.
So Vince has about 10 years on him then.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Oh my god.
He's jacked up, dude.
And I love that he flexes back. He flexes and goes, moves the...
What's he doing though? Is he looking for a chair?
Listen to this sound here. Listen to this sound.
Leveling up here, look out. Gah.
Kick in the gut. Doesn't know how to sell it. Gets punched in the face. Oh, I better fall down now.
Well, here's a question for you. What is your favourite Vince McMahon match?
This.
This one?
This, and also too, let's focus on Hogan because we're going to go back to McMahon and he's going to do the bit of the shearing action.
Oh, is he getting bladed, is he?
Yep, right here. Another unprotected chair shot.
They didn't send to that
come on,
one.
baby. Yep. Let's focus to the faraway shot. Focus on Hogan. And then he'll start to shear. There he is down there doing it. This, and I would have to say his cage match against Austin.
Ah, yep. St. Valentine's Day Massacre 99.
And also, if you a bit of a laugh and you don't take it too serious, he teamed up with Shane against Shawn Michaels and God.
Yeah, that was a backlash, wasn't it? Yeah. Literally, God had an entrance too, with the music playing and the light coming down to the entrance ramp.
And then they changed it to Ernest the Cat Miller's Funkadactyl song.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say my ones would be Triple H at Armageddon 99 was a great one.
Fantastic.
I would say against Taker, Survivor Series 2003. That was a great one.
And that would
what
be the
else
last time we
comes out?
saw the American Badass, wasn't it? He would go away
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, Kane
And
came out.
Return
and
of the
alive,
Dead
didn't
Man.
And I would say probably one more when he became ECW champion against Bobby Lashley with the help of Shane and Umaga.
Umaga, yep.
What do-rag Vince.
Oh my god!
God, yep. That didn't even bounce. It just like pushed into the body. Vince is
did. Listen
juicing
to this
pretty
one.
bad here. He's juicing.
He is. Yes, he is.
Look at the puddle on the ground, right near the ref's leg. There's a puddle.
Hang on. Watch this. Watch this. This is a great shot right here.
Oh, that's
Hugo.
Hugo. Is that Hugo?
Hugo took a chair shot in this match.
Unprotected as well. His hands were by his side.
You imagine listening to this, Ryan the Dick, Ryan the Thermos. You're listening to the Spanish commentary to this, and next minute the commentary, the lead commentator, Hugo takes a fucking chair shot.
Hogan let go of the chair as well midway through it. Yeah. So you're saying, imagine being the Spanish audience going, where's he gone? You can't hear anyone talking.
Holy shit! Now,
Look at this. Oh,
again,
Jesus.
chair shot. Let's focus on Vince. Let's not focus on Hogan. This is what the people of AEW should learn, Tom.
Oh, how dare you. Don't bring that up.
Moxley's in a match. Let's show him shearing himself.
It's okay.
We got a ladder.
It's okay, Tony. I'll still check you out on Fight. It's all good. Don't worry about Alan.
Booker of the Year, my fat ass.
Do you know what I saw come out today? Another part 2 of comparing Tony Khan to the fella from the UWF. Another video has been made.
Herb Abrams. Yeah.
I'm not sharing it. No.
Oh, don't worry, I'll find it.
It's just, it's uncanny, guys. I will say it's uncanny. There's so many similarities, though. It's crazy.
Yeah. At least with... oh, God.
Do you just pull a ladder out?
Yes, he pulled the ladder out, and he also threw the timekeeper, Austin's beer man. He threw Hogan into him.
So technically, we're, past the halfway part of a TLC match. We've got tables there, we've got a ladder use, and we've got chairs.
We're about to get a table spot too. Don't forget that we do have a table spot coming up.
Oh, shit,
and
look
it's
at this.
friggin' ridiculous.
It's not piranha, but, okay.
It's silly. Just silly stuff. There's no... Oh my God, monitor to the
Jesus.
head.
Look at Vince. He's just gushing.
Yeah.
I think we talked on this show, like the worst blade jobs. I definitely think Guerrero, which we did. Remember the Guerrero JBL, Judgment Day, where he just gushed everywhere?
I don't think that was a blade.
Cena had... just cut him
I don't think that was a
properly.
play. I
Hard
think
way.
that was legit, the hard way. We go
The
look at this,
chair, that was
Hogan.
brutal.
Sorry, look at this. Vince McMahon, age 57 here, climbing on top of the very top of a ladder and calling out to the crowd. Watch him. Took a page out of Jeff
Just
Hardy's book
crazy.
here.
57, you said, eh?
57, about to drop. Drop the leg.
Look at
Drop
that.
the dime onto Hogan's neck. On top of the ladder, leg drop. And the crowd goes, holy shit, holy shit.
You did pretty well.
Yeah. Here we go. Watch this. Watch this. Bang.
That. Wasn't there a funny thing too? Wasn't it the WrestleMania that was COVID, where he jumped off that padded, was it ramp or something, to show one of the hosts to say he wasn't comfortable jumping off the ramp part.
Yeah, Gronk.
He said, "I'll do it, and I'll go and do it." See Vince, in his 70s, leaping off this massive thing onto a pad.
Now, watch these guys here. They're taking Hugo. Look, Hugo's got a blade. Hugo's got juice. They take him under the ladder.
So, do you think he
Dummy.
do you think he bladed, or do you think it was legit?
Oh, it's Hugo, so probably, yeah, he legit did it. Yeah. Or he had no way, he probably didn't find out until someone called him onto the actual, on the headset. Oh yeah, Hugo, you're taking a chair shot, heads up. What? Wham!
Or he wasn't even told at all.
Just, you're part of the show. What?
We just wanted to rib you, mate.
Wow. It's good for laugh. It's good for staff morale.
It's all about surprises. Surprises.
Look at Vince's face. I jumped off a fucking ladder onto this man. Look at the eyes.
That's awesome.
The blood.
Crimson Master.
The villain. Villain.
And just looking at there, what Brian Hebner? He's got the Raffing It Up podcast.
I was about to say that Brian Hebner is out. Now watch this. This is a fantastic spot right here.
Great camera work. Look at that. The placement's awesome.
I remember the cinemas, and we were in laughing and going, "Holy shit!" We were laughing our asses off and going, "He just looks like a comic book villain."
He's so sinister looking, like the eyes coming up. It reminds me of like the Keith Lee spot, the camera work placement. I just love that with Vince. It was so good.
Right in the dick.
Jesus.
Right in the grapefruits.
Yeah, right. That was like all forearm too.
Right in the McMahon meat.
What he used to say, giant gonads. Didn't he used to say that or something years later?
Grapefruits.
That's it. Yeah.
I got these great big grapefruits. God damn it. Trish, look at him. And he was a genetic jackhammer.
And he went on to, Father Hornswoggle. So,
Now watch this. Someone's coming into the ring now.
Look at the crowd. Look at that.
Look,
that's so
I remember going, what in the hell is going on here? And this was a surprise. No one knew about this in the back either, too. I remember listening to Pritchard's show, and he talked about this. They actually brought him in the back, and they were like, he kicks Vince in the ass. If you hear him a few times, too, he actually calls McMahon Jr., because that was Vince's name back in the 80s here. When Vince Sr. was still alive and sort of running the business.
Because wasn't the first Mania, it was Mr. T and Hogan against Piper and Orton? Wasn't that the first main event, I think, from the first one, yeah. I just love how a fan in that front row's got a free jacket now.
Yeah. Come on, Junior. Get up, Junior.
Yeah,
come on, get up.
Those pale
spits
legs,
on
look
him.
at him.
That's Savage, right? Sorry, that's Roddy Piper. He doesn't get much sun. Conk.
Look at that.
That was the biggest.
Great shot, too.
Double snot job. Kiss my ass. And he actually did swear there, too. And swears there, too.
And I think it was the start of I was going to say, it's the start of a short-term deal. It wasn't a big one.
Nope.
I think he went on to have a program with Sean O'Hare, and that ended up doing something with Rikishi, I think, as well. But it wasn't long.
But yeah, they because of Rikishi being part of that Samoan dynasty, and with Jimmy Snuka, Rikishi was like, I'm coming to stand up for my family because you threw coconuts at, he barely kicked out of that one there.
I think Hogan's had no pin attempts. I think Vince has had 5.
That's classic Hogan, a Hogan style. Everyone will try to keep him down. Hollywood Hulk Hogan, on the other hand, will do everything in his power to make the match finish quickly. It's the heel thing.
Well, there's a question for you. Favorite interpretation of Hulk Hogan? Which era? Which character?
I like this Hogan because this is the Hogan I remember. I didn't. Oh, see you later, referee. Gets tangled up in the. Oh my God! Gets kicked in a few times. Now,
Jesus,
get the hell out! God damn!
Brian's probably thinking I'm in trouble now. I fucked that spot up.
Please, Uncle Herb, help me.
Oh shit!
He's calling for someone to come down.
Yeah. So who'd you say? You like this Hogan?
I like this Hogan because this is when he came back. It was a bit of fun. I didn't watch Hogan. I wasn't watching WCW as much as I should have back in when he was a heel. Because again, we couldn't get it down here. We got it later on towards the end of WCW in the early 2000s. Here we go here. Sonia got on the air. Look at it, the referee just pushing him.
He's a Hebner as well, that fella.
Mike Spark.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark Spark just got smacked.
Jesus, what the hell?
Hogan took another pipe to the face.
I was going to say, I don't know if that was, but yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
It was. He took another pipe shot. McMahon with a ugly looking leg drop. Now watch this. This is just stim moment right there.
I remember just going, like, just hands in my palm now, because I'm like, fuck, I know it's over. God damn it. I remember the cinema looking at you, and I'm like, God damn it.
Just screaming at this palm. It was so good. It's just funny just how you watch the crowd, how exciting this can get everyone standing on their asses. And
well, there's really no one else that does this in modern wrestling, that has this Hulk up type of thing, yeah.
Yeah. The point. Telling him off. And one.
Look at that. Just drops him with the first punch.
Oh,
wait a minute.
I would imagine Selvin must be loving this moment. Whoop. Eliminated from the Royal Rumble.
Just goes right into the crowd.
Double axe handle.
Keeps going.
You're in trouble now, Junior. Shot. And another shot. Listen to the crowd too. Off the ropes. Kick in the face.
Oh, took that well.
Build the crowd up. Look at everyone in the front. Everyone around standing up. They're just loving this.
And all those like guys in the front row who are older there would have been like little Hulkamaniacs all those years ago. Yeah. Look at that.
Not
Drops
one.
It.
Not two.
I want to take his head off with it.
3.
Look at that. Guillotine.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Crazy.
And the referee that got thrown over the top rope is now back and got the 3.
His neck's all bent. His hands are snapped off, but he still counted that 3.
He's still doing the job. He's still doing the zebra job.
That was awesome.
Fucking-tastic match.
Good pick, El.
Yeah, I also fondly remember this too. You sitting there with your hands on your eyes, and all of us, while this is playing, with Voodoo Child is playing, we are screaming at you. And I remember it's like someone I think came up to you and pushed you in the head, and it was like, yeah. And I remember just like screaming in your face. You're like, "Get the fuck off, guys! Don't!" And you're like, so. And then we're like,
you kept saying to me, you kept saying, "Hey Tom, who won? Who won?" And I'm like, I just remember trying to blur you out and ignore you. Like, no, Al, I'm not talking to you.
Yeah. Because there is another hour left of wrestling here. Because I know it was the main event's Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar. But you mentioned trying to follow this. I want to try.
I think up next was Rock and Austin. I think was next.
See,
yeah.
and this was, and I didn't know at this time too. I think we've spoken about this, but this was Steve Austin's last match.
Yeah.
Until most recently, his match with KO.
Well, this story on the screen though wouldn't actually end. Like, you had Mr. America end up coming in.
This is crazy. Look at this. This is fantastic. Shane McMahon coming down.
Well, it's almost like were they planting a seed for something? Like, it never ended up becoming a Shane Hogan storyline. I know Mr. America became the next big thing with it, but it's cool.
I think it's just basically Shane's coming down. It's like, Dad, enough. It's time for us to go. It's time for you to help him out.
We're also concerned after that leg drop spot that you're okay. So I've just come out to double check you're still breathing.
I find this very funny too when he takes the weight belt off, and there is another promoter, well, not a promoter, another wrestler's son that took the belt. He took it the hard way, and that was in David Flair. And come in, son, come in.
He got a lot of lashes. I think it was a Nitro or something like that. Yeah,
that's what I'm referring to. He got ripped to shit. He got whipped bad, and I don't think anybody had worded up Hogan about and David about it, or even Richard about it. And there was a bit of a bad blood between Hogan and Ric Flair for a while after that.
Look at that. There you go. You can have him now.
That's your old man.
But don't we get the finger, I think, by Vince here, I think, in a second?
There it is. As you speak, there is right there.
Now, is that how you flip the bird? Because I don't flip it like that. Yeah.
So I flip the bird.
There was actually a thing, I remember Conrad and Bruce talking about that. They got a question like, why does Vince do that with the bird and what's his name? I think Pritchard's like, I can't answer it. I don't know why he does it. It's his own way. And that's it.
There we go. We can
do Rock Stone Cold if you want, but yeah, we might finish up, eh?
We will do that maybe in the future if we decide to do a Hulk Hogan, a Steve Austin episode or a Rock episode. Definitely, for sure.
Any closing comments before we finish up?
One of my favorite matches of all time, just having two polarizing wrestling. Well, when you say wrestlers, you don't really think of Vince McMahon, Hulk Hogan. I don't think much of any of those dudes know. I mean, Hogan went to wrestling school. Vince went to wrestling school. He went against his father's wishes, but it's still a great match to watch. And just if you know your lore about Hogan and McMahon and what happened, in the 80s, towards the early 90s, and when he left and went to WCW and he sued the WWE, and as we saw in the opening package just before the match. And then if you know your lore about Roddy Piper coming into this match, and you think, oh yeah, he's going to help Hogan because they're best of buds. No, they're not. Roddy he walked to the beat of his own drum. So to see him kick Junior in the ass as he kept calling Vince, and then bang, hitting him Hogan in the head with the pipe, that was a massive surprise too. So a very cool match. I'm very fond of that.
That's awesome. And I think, as you touched on, and I think we've even talked off the mic, these eras are the ones we loved. The 98 to 2003, this is the time where ruthless aggression would eventually become the big thing, and the Attitude Era was, coming to an end for a new start. Yes. But yeah, great matches so far. Just before we finish up, guys, we want to give a shout out to our final two wrestling podcast. Check these guys out.
Main Event Marks is a retro pro wrestling podcast hosted by two lifelong wrestling marks and walking wrestling encyclopedias, Troy and Greg. Every Wednesday, we do a breakdown and review from a fan's perspective on some of wrestling's biggest and most forgotten shows ever, along with the industry news from that time period, taking you back in history to when that event took place. Main Event Marks is available on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. Follow us on social media at @main_event_marks.
The Mark Order Podcast is the only show you need if you're looking for dedicated coverage of everything AEW on the Shining Wizards Network. Join us live on YouTube every Wednesday night at 10:15 p.m. Eastern after Dynamite to chat along with the show. If you can't join us live, listen to us on your favorite podcast platform. Follow us on all social channels at MarkOrderPod and use the hashtag #JoinTheMarkOrder, because if you don't find us,
we will find you.
Well, guys, you know what time it is. Alan's left the room, so I have to give a bit of a readout of our sponsors and affiliates. So Rogue Energy is a premium energy and focus supplement designed to optimize your mental and physical performance. And if you check out rogueenergy.com and use our promo code 2702 at checkout, you will get 10% off products. Next one I want to talk about is Luxie. So Luxie can enhance your performance with their analog grips. These grips can be used on your PlayStation, your Xbox, and your Nintendo Switch. And if you visit Luxie.com and use the promo code BRO247,
That's Bro247. You get a total of 15% off products. Up next is Triumph Chairs. So Triumph Chairs is a gaming chair company specializing in comfort and performance. Visit triumphchairs.com and use the promo code BRO247 on checkout to get 10% off products. Up next is Clinch Gaming. Clinch Gaming manufactures custom professional gaming controllers that you can use on your Xbox and your PlayStation, and use our promo code BRO247 on checkout to get 5% off products. Up next is Player One Coffee. So Player One Coffee develop coffee recipes custom tailored to gamers, creative, developers, and just about anyone who really enjoys a cup of coffee. And lucky last is victoriouseyewear.com. So Victorious Eyewear develop blue light blocking gaming glasses designed to eliminate digital eye strain and help you maintain comfortable and focused. Visiting victoriouseyewear.com and use the promo code BRO247 at checkout gets you 10% off. So again, shout out there to Victorious Eyewear, Player One Coffee, Clinch Gaming, Triumph Chairs, Luxy.com, and Rogue Energy.
Alright guys, we are back and we're at the tail end for our once-a-year TBK WrestleMania special. Any closing comments out before we finish up?
I hope everyone enjoyed it. I vastly did. We're looking back at matches that you and I find extremely fun to watch, especially the that Ladders match against the Dudleys, the Hardys, and E&C. That was just a classic. I remember watching that at a very young age, and looking at that going, my God, look at these Titans. They're just, all the craziness they're doing. And then a few years later, 3 years later, and I think myself being 19, I think you being 17. And, for me at that time, school was coming towards the end. And we're at the cinemas and we're watching wrestling. Again, I've spoken about this vastly so many times. But watching wrestling on a big screen, that was just tops for me. So both of those matches that we've covered for you today, I hope everyone enjoys. And
where can people follow you, Al?
You can see my little name right down there. Can you see it right there? I'm pointing at it. That's Alan Ross 84 TBK. That's me. That is my Twitter handle right there, guys. Also, I've got another name you can find me on. That's Roscoe_Bosco. On different types of my LinkedIn, so you can find me on there. So you can find me on right here on my Twitter. You can find me on my Twitch channel, which is TTV Roscoe Bosco 84. That's also the same name as my Epic name. So if you would like to add me, you don't have to, but it'd be kind of fun. I do have a TikTok, and I've just been recently putting up some TikToks lately of the comparison of what's going to happen at WrestleMania. What some of the predictions. So I'm having a bit of fun on that. And thank you again for retweeting that on the TBK Twitter as well too. That was good fun. And actually, it's remarkable how you've put that up, and the views have gone up astronomically. So that
it was just me watching it on repeat. So.
No, actually, it wasn't because you're trying to be funny and no one's laughing.
I am.
But, well, I actually got more people than I didn't even know that were viewing it. So there's clearly people have liked this, that liked the tweet, went and watched this, and then it just progressively got out more and more and more. And these people are just, it is basically me just a facial reaction shot of me, what we might see at WrestleMania.
Well, I'm just thinking too, like talking about doing TikToks. Your birthday's coming up in a few months. I've actually put in an order for the TikTok ring that you can use, and I also might get one here for myself, and we'll do a dual. What is it? I love you to infinity. We'll do a double.
You to infinity.
We'll do a double video together. So if that's what people want, and even if you don't want it, you're bloody getting it, all right? Yeah,
you're getting it right now. You're getting it. Too bad, so sad.
Well, guys, just before we finish up, you can follow us directly also on Twitter, which is The Broadcast. That's TheBroadcast. BROKAST. Also, shout out to our sponsors, as Alan just showed you there, the Rogue Energy container. You would have heard the ad for our sponsors, Rogue Energy, Clinch Gaming, Player One Coffee, a range of different products. Check us out on our Twitter for all those discount codes. Instagram is the Broadcast, THEBROKASTPODCAST. If you have a promo that has been featured like the other ones tonight and you want to have a regular run on our show, please send us an email, broadcast2@gmail.com. Always happy to support fellow wrestling podcasts and also all podcasts. If you like coffee, if you like wrestling, if you like gaming, anything like that, we're out there to support you guys. Next month, we have some great content for the month of April. No spoilers in this episode, but we have had a couple of chats offline, and there's some pretty interesting matches that I'm pretty keen to actually watch. In regards to that, guys, again, check out our YouTube page, Twitter page. I'm also looking at getting a website for us in the coming weeks as well to put a lot of our Riverside content on there as well. But as we say each and every episode, good morning, good evening. Wait, I stuffed it up.
Try again.
I think we just say good afternoon, good evening, or good night. Wait, did I stuff it up again? I know.
Good night's my bit.
That's your bit. Yeah, okay. So it's good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or
good night.